everyone, my name is Bashar. Welcome to my channel Tech Quest Learning Point. Today I am going to discuss about the question answers for the exam AZ-900. Let's start. Question number 81. Which term represents the ability to increase the computing capacity of a virtual machine by adding memory or CPUs? Option A, agility. Option B, vertical scaling. Option C, horizontal scaling. Option D, elasticity. Answer. The term vertical scaling, also known as scale up and scale down, means increasing or decreasing virtual machines VM sizes in response to a workload. Compare this behavior with horizontal scaling, also referred to as scale out and scale in, where the number of VMs is altered depending on the workload. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Next question. Question number 82. Select the answer that correctly completes the sentence. Azure Site Recovery provides dash for virtual machines. Option A, fault tolerance. Option B, disaster recovery. Option C, elasticity. Option D, high availability. Next question, 83. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Statements. Azure virtual networks deployed to the same Azure region are connected by default. Each Azure virtual network is a single resource group, must have an unique name. The Azure Virtual Network's address space must be unique within a subscription. Answer. In the statement, Azure Virtual Network is required to set up VNet connections by pairing. Therefore, this statement is false. In the statement 2, all Azure resource types have a space that defines the level that resource names must be unique. A resource must have a unique name within its scope. For example, a virtual network has a resource group scope, which means that there can be only one network named VNet port OS 001 in a given resource group. So this statement is true. In the statement 3, as you build your network in Azure, it's important to keep in mind the following universal design principles. Ensure non-overlapping address space. Make sure your VNet address space CIDR block does not overlap with your organization's other network ranges. So this statement is true. Next question, question number 84. You plan to host two apps named App 1 and App 2. The apps must meet the following requirements. You must be able to modify the code of App 1. Administrative effort to manage the operation system of App 1 must be minimized. App 2 must run interactively with the operating system of the server. Which type of cloud service should you use to each app? To answer, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. App 1 dash App 2 dash. Option A, infrastructure as a service IaaS. Option B, platform as a service PaaS. Option C, software as a service SaaS. Answer. For App 1, it will be platform as a service PaaS, and for App 2, it will be software as a service SaaS. Next question, question number 85. Select the answer that correctly completes the sentence. Auto scaling is the example of dash. Option A, agility. Option B, elasticity. Option C, geo distribution. Option D, predictability. Answer. An Azure virtual machine scale set can automatically increase or decrease the number of VM instances that run your application. This automated and elastic behavior reduces the management overhead to monitor and optimize the performance of your application. Azure Elasticity is referred to a cloud service that enables in automatically scaling Azure hosted resources as per demand. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Next question, question number 86. You have an accounting application named App1 that uses a legacy database. You plan to move App1 to the cloud. Which service model should you use? Option A, Platform as a Service PaaS. Option B, Infrastructure as a Service IaaS. Option C, Software as a Service SaaS. Answer: it moves your existing on-premises apps to the Infrastructure as a Service IaaS platform, or we hosted them. The programs will be nearly identical to what they were before, but they will be able to run on cloud VMs. So the correct option is B. Next question, 87. Which cloud computing model includes on-premises and cloud-based resources? Option A hybrid. Option B, public. Option C, private. Answer: as you know that the hybrid cloud model is the combination of the on-premises and cloud-based resources. The correct answer is option A. Next question. Question number 88. Select the answer that correctly completes the sentences. While you are implementing a software as a service SaaS solution, you are responsible for dash. Option A, configuring high availability. Option B, defining scalability rules. Option C, installing the SaaS solution. Option D, configuring the SaaS solution. Answer: SaaS solution manages access to the application including security, availability and performance. The users are responsible for application data only, such as email. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Next question. Question number 89. Select the answer that correctly completes the sentence. A Microsoft SQL database that is hosted in the cloud and has software updates managed by Azure is an example of dash. Option A, disaster recovery as a service DRaaS. Option B, infrastructure as a service IaaS. Option C, platform as a service PaaS. Option D, software as a service SaaS. Answer: as the Microsoft database is hosted in the Azure cloud and software updates managed by Azure, this is platform as a service PaaS solution. Therefore, the correct option is C. Next question, question number 90. Select the answer that correctly completes the sentence. An Azure web app that requires an on-premises Microsoft SQL server is an example of dash cloud. Option A, hybrid. Option B, multi-vendor. Option C, private. Option D, public. Answer: in this scenario, app is hosted in cloud and database is on-premises. That means it is the combination of the cloud and on-premises resource. It is called hybrid cloud model. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Next question. Question number 91. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Note: each correct selection is worth 1 point. Statements. An Azure subscription can be associated to multiple Azure Active Directory Azure AD tenants. Statement 2. You can change the Azure Active Directory Azure AD tenants to which an Azure subscription is associated. Statement 3. When an Azure subscription expires, the associated Azure Active Directory Azure AD tenant is deleted automatically. Answer: in the statement 1, an Azure AD tenant can have multiple subscriptions, but an Azure subscription can only be associated with one Azure AD tenant. So, this statement is false. In the statement 2, it is possible to change the Azure Active Directory Azure AD tenants to which an Azure subscription is associated. Therefore, this statement is true. In the statement 3, if your subscription expires, you lose access to all the other resources associated with the subscription. However, the Azure AD directory remains in Azure. You can associate and manage the directory using a different Azure subscription. So, this statement is false. Next question. Question number 92. What are two benefits of cloud computing? Is correct answer presents a complete solution. Not is correct selection is worth 1 point. Option A enables rapid provisioning of resources. Option B has increased administrative complexity. Option C has the same configuration option as on-premises. Option D shifts capital expenditures CapEx to the operating expenditure OpEx. Answer. Since the Azure allows you to build, deploy and manage apps more quickly and easily without having to buy and or maintain the underlying infrastructure, the option A enables the rapid provision of resources is correct. We know that Azure provides flexibility between CapEx and OpEx. Capital expenditures generate benefits over a long period. These expenditures are generally non-recurring and result in the acquisition of permanent assets. So option D is also correct. Next questions, question number 93. You plan to deploy several Azure virtual machines. You need to ensure that the services running on the virtual machines are available if a single data center fails. Solution. You deploy the virtual machines to a scale set. Does this meet the goal? And option A, yes. Option B, no. Answer. This answer does specify that the scale set will be configured across multiple data centers, so this solution does not meet the goal. Azure Virtual Machine scale sets let you create and manage a group of load balanced VMs. The number of VM instances can automatically increase or decrease in response to demand or a defined schedule. Scale sets provide high availability to your applications and allow you to currently centrally manage, configure and update many VMs. Virtual machines in the scale set can be deployed across multiple update domains and fault domains to maximize availability and resilience to outages due to data center outages and planned or unplanned maintenance events. So the correct option is B. Next question, question number 94. What is a feature of an Azure Virtual Network? Option A, resource cost analysis. Option B, packet inspection. Option C, geo redundancy. D, isolation and segmentation. Answer. Implement network segmentation patterns on Azure. A unified enterprise segmentation strategy guides technical teams to consistently segment access using networking, applications, identity and any other access control. Create a segmentation in your network footprint by defining perimeters. The main reasons for segmentation are the ability to group related assets that are a part of operations, isolation of resources, governance policies set by the organization. The correct option is D. Next question. Question number 95. You plan to deploy several Azure virtual machines. You need to ensure that the services running on the virtual machines are available if a single data center fails. Solution. You deploy the virtual machines to two or more resource groups. Does this meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. Answer. A resource group is logical containers for Azure resources. When you create a resource group, You specify which location to create the resource group in. However, when you create a virtual machine and place it in resource group, the virtual machine can still be in a different data center. Therefore, creating multiple resource groups, even if they are in separate data center, does not ensure that the service running on the virtual machines are available. If a single data center fails, the correct option is B. Next question, question number 96. Select the answer that correctly completes the sentence. Dash enables Azure resources to be deployed close to user. Option A, elasticity. Option B, geo-distribution. Option C, high availability. Option D, scalability. Answer: because of geo-distribution, you can deploy apps and data to regional data centers around the globe, thereby ensuring that your customers always have the best performance in their region. So the correct option is B. The next question, question number 97. You plan to extend your company's network to Azure. The network contains a VPN appliance that uses an IP address of 131.107.200.1. You need to create an Azure resource that defines the VPN appliance in Azure. Which Azure resource should you create? To answer, select the appropriate resource in the answer area. Option A, NAT gateways. Option B, application gateways. Option C, local network gateways. Option D, virtual network gateways. Option E, on-premises data gateways. Option F, Azure Data Box gateways. Option G, Azure Stack Edge Azure Data Box gateway. Option H, Web Application Firewall policies. Answer: a local network gateway is an object in Azure that represents your on-premises VPN device. A virtual network gateway is the VPN object at the Azure end of the VPN. A connection is what connects the local network gateway and the virtual network gateway to bring up the VPN. The local network gateway typically refers to your on-premises location. You give the site a name by which Azure can refer to it, then specify the IP address of the on-premises VPN device to which you will create a connection. You also specify the IP address prefixes that will be routed through the VPN gateway to the VPN device. The address prefixes you specify are the prefixes located on your on-premises network. If your on-premises network changes or you need to change the public IP address for the VPN device, you can easily update the values later. Next question, question number 98. Match the cloud computing benefits to the appropriate descriptions. To answer, drag the appropriate benefit from the column on the left to its description on the right. Each benefit may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Note: each correct match is worth 1 point. Benefits: disaster recovery, geo-distribution, high availability, scalability, increase the compute capacity, provide a continuous user experience with no apparent downtime, ensure that the user always have the best experience by deploying apps to all the regions where their user. Answer: the correct answer is scalability, high availability, geo-distribution. Next question, question number 99. You need to identify the type of failure for which an Azure availability zone can be used to protect access to Azure services. What should you identify? Option A, a physical server failure. Option B, an Azure region failure. Option C, a storage failure. Option D, an Azure data center failure. Answer: availability zones expand the level of control you have to maintain the availability of the applications and data on your VMs. An availability zone is a physical separate zone within an Azure region. There are 3 availability zones per supported Azure region. Each availability zone has a distinct power source, network, and cooling. By architecting your solution to use VMs in zones, you can protect your apps and data from the loss of a data center. If one zone is compromised, then replicated apps and data are instantly available in another zone. Next question number 100. Which cloud computing provides continuous user access to a cloud-based application with minimal downtime? Option A, agility. Option B, scalability. Option C, elasticity. Option D, high availability. Answer: the high availability cloud computing benefits provides continuous user access to a cloud-based application with minimal downtime. Therefore, the correct option is option D. That is the end of the question and answer discussion session.